Hello everyone, welcome back to ThermOWeb's YouTube channel. I'm Rebecca Keppel. I'm super excited to be here today. We are working with Brutus Monroe ThermOWeb new Deco foils. We have Rainglow and this is Blue Waves and a bunch of Brutus Monroe products to create Slimline cards. So I'm sharing two different Christmas cards. Okay, to start out, I'm sharing the Brutus Monroe Slimline series. We have card panels, envelopes, this is a die, and then a couple of stencils. I am going to be using the ornament stencil that you see here, and you can see it's like about 6 by 9, so it fits on a slimline card. And then these are pre-cut slimline bases. All you have to do is score and fold. So lots of fun slimline products from Brutus Monroe, and we're going to decorate them with a bunch of the new Deco foils from ThermOWeb. So to start out, I am using one of those slimline card panels, and they are bright white and smooth, and so I am going to ink blend with Distress Oxide inks. I have some tumbled glass, some faded jeans, some chipped sapphire, and some broken china. That's kind of the second one. And I'm just blending those out to create a really pretty blue background. I'm going to sprinkle some white acrylic paint driplets on top of that. I'm going to use ThermOWeb's Pixie spray, which is a really nice repositionable adhesive that you can spray on the back of stencils, let it dry, and it'll be tacky enough that you can keep your stencil in place when you're applying the Deco Foil Blanco gel with the stencil pal here. The reason I'm using the Blanco gel is because what's underneath on that card panel is dark colors. So I want to make sure that this Blanco gel, which dries white, is going to cover up those ink blends underneath, and that will allow me to use a foil, and you'll be able to just see that foil shine without seeing any of the color from the ink blending underneath. So Blanco gel is a great gel to use if you're working on dark colors and you need that gel to dry white. So I'm going to lift up that stencil. You can see how beautiful that applies over. I kind of like it just like that, but we are going to apply the foil. So once that's done and once it's dry, you'll see that it's still white, but you'll know that it's dry. I mean, you really got to just let it completely dry. I'm going to put it inside a parchment paper sandwich, and I'm going to put the new Blue Waves Brutus Monroe foil on top. I'm going to just trim it so that it's just a little bit larger than that card panel there, because I don't want to waste or wrinkle anything hanging out the side there. I can use those scraps for a future project, and you'll actually see that I do that later here in this. So I ran that through my laminator, and now I am just peeling off. And the way that I applied it, I did not get full coverage on everything with foil. That is okay. We are going to totally fix that. This was just me and user error. So when I have foil spots that I miss, I like to use the Deco Foil Adhesive pen. You can see I get it going on the side there just by pressing down on the nib, and then I'm just filling in those areas with the empty spots with a little bit of the Deco Foil Adhesive pen. The nice thing about the pen is that it dries relatively quickly. So just like a minute, and then it's tacky but dry. So now I'm putting little pieces of that foil that I had scraps of on top of those little mistake areas that I had. And I'm just cutting little pieces just to cover up the spots that I missed that I put in the Deco foil. Put it through my die cut machine like I would for thin metal dies, and check it out. I made all the little boo-boos go away, all the errors that I had go away. So it's a great way if you struggle with getting 100% perfect foiling, is to add a little bit of that adhesive pen. Now I am treating some cardstock with anti-static powder tool and stamping a Merry Christmas sentiment with some Versamark ink. I'm going to pour white embossing powder on top of that. This is a navy cardstock background, and I am going to heat set that Merry Christmas and then just trim that down in a trimmer to create a sentiment strip. Now for the card base, I've got those great card bases from Brutus Monroe, so all I have to do is score it halfway down and then fold it, and then use some tape runner to adhere the card panel down to the card base. Once that's adhered, I'm ready to use some foam tape to pop up my sentiment strip, peel off the back protective layer there, and lay that down on my card to create this Christmas card, which I absolutely love the colors here. Okay, for the second card, I'm going to use some Decofoil foam adhesive. It's a double-sided adhesive foam. I've peeled off the top protective layer and I'm laying a card panel, one of the Brutus Monroe Slimline card panels, down on the adhesive, and now I'm going to trim around it. So the entire card panel is going to be covered with the foam adhesive. Now I'll peel off the other side to reveal the adhesive on the other side, and this time I'm going to lay down the Rainglow foil. And this is such an easy way to create a complete foiled background. I can't even get over it. So you just rub it with your finger and then peel back. Go slow enough that you can kind of set it back down for any missed spots like you can see I'm doing there. But basically you just rub and lift, and now you have this awesome, brilliant rainbow foiled background for your card. So once that's done, not much else needs to be done here to make this card pretty fantastic. But I did want to put a little bit of the anti-static around the edge, because since the foam is double-sided adhesive, you can feel that it's a little sticky around the sides, and I didn't want it to stick to anything. So just a little bit of that powder, and that gets rid of that stickiness. Okay, I love this die cut from Brutus Monroe. It's absolutely beautiful. These ornaments kind of stack together. So I'm just weeding out those little pieces that I don't need. I had covered this white piece of cardstock with some easy cut adhesive. So basically all I need to do once I weed everything out is just lay it down. And then I flip it over and trim off the side. So I basically got rid of that frame that it cuts out, and I'm just using the Christmas decorations. Did the same thing here. I'm going to continue to do this along the panel with white cardstock. I like the way that that really pops on that rainbow background, and just have a couple of them going up the slimline card with the most of them at the bottom there, and it creates this really fun effect of a Christmas decoration background. And then one of the decorations has a star that pops out, so I used that a couple of times just to fill in some of those white spaces there, or rainbow spaces actually, and I'm just adhering that down with some Memory Runner XL, my favorite tape runner there. And once that's done, I'm going to use one of the card bases again from Brutus Monroe, just score it in half. It's about 3.5, and then fold it. Add a little bit of tape runner to one side of that card, and then you can just lay this whole thing down on top. And it is dimensional, but it's absolutely beautiful. I love the foiling and the white cardstock together. Now I am going to stamp and heat emboss the Merry Christmas sentiment again. This time I am using black cardstock, and I am going to use silver embossing powder. So I did stamp it a couple of times, then pour the embossing powder on top, and then heat set that to create my sentiment. Once that was cool, I did trim it down again and put some of that black foam tape on the back so that you couldn't see it from the side or angles. The cool thing about slimline cards is you have lots of different places you could put your sentiments, especially with a background like this. So I kind of just picked where I liked it. And that card really is so easy to create that really vibrant rainbow background with the Brutus Monroe Rainglow foils with ThermOWeb. I had so much fun creating these cards that I decided I wanted to make some envelopes to match. So I put a little Pixie spray behind the stencil, and I'm putting it down on the front of the slimline envelope, and I'm just using a little bit of the Duo gel. Since the envelope is white, I can use the Duo gel. I don't need to use the Blanco gel. And I'm just doing one of the ornaments from the stencil, and it's going to sit on the bottom left corner of the envelope, so you'll still have plenty of room for your address and your return address on the front if you'd like. I'm going to set these aside until they dry clear, as you can see here, and then I'm going to trim down a Blue Waves and I'm going to put that into a parchment sandwich and run it through my die cut machine. With the Duo Gel, you don't always have to use the laminator unless you want to. You can also use pressure from your die cut machine to adhere the foil. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one, only with the Rainglow this time, so that we can match the rainbow card. So now we just peel it off and check that out. Isn't that so cute? I love that. Those little decorations on the front of the envelopes. I did get a little bit where I didn't want it here, probably from not letting the Pixie spray dry. So just use a mono sand eraser to get rid of those little excess bits of foil. So that is it. 2 different cards with the 2 brand new ThermOWeb Brutus Monroe Deco foils, Rainglow and Blue Waves. Absolutely gorgeous, perfect for the holidays and just bright colors in general. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. If you're interested in the supplies that I use, they'll all be linked down below. Have a wonderful day.